I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. Attack ships on fire off the shoulder of Orion.
All right, fam, we got one more minute. Thank you so much for joining into the space and participating. It is time for the Warriors of Love contest winning announcement, and that is going to be incredible because we also have some other announcements to make that I'm sure will be exciting. So we got 45 seconds. We're just asking you to take a breath, breathe in, enjoy yourself, realize that you are the most important thing to all of this in creation. We give thanks for you. It's going to take one little extra minute here. We got a few things to get ready in the studio.
D-Mark got that heat.
Time changes space.
right, so we made it. We made it. It is that time. It is time to announce the winners of the Warriors of Love NFT Quest, and also just the launch. Today we cross over the portal officially. Like, this is it. We've done so much in this build. We've covered so many different spaces. We've really shown that this is a multidisciplinary way of life, way of existence. And so I've had a lot of fun. There has been its ups and downs of the learning lessons that are just around cryptocurrency, around leading something, around just really pioneering a new way of existence and figuring out a way that we all can do that together. So I wanted to give thanks to everyone that did get an opportunity to participate. And I want to let you know that this is just the beginning. As you've seen, probably within this time that from the first time that we announced this launch to now, the actual value of the rewards that we're going to be giving today have actually increased. And that's incredible. So that means that today we give away somewhere around $12,000 worth of gifts. Actually more. I didn't do the recent calculation, but hey, that's what it is, because what we know is that when we get others amongst us that are capable of withstanding the power and the potential of all of the honors that they can receive here inside of this space, then we're on our way to fantastic growth. And so I'm going to begin by first just a few disclaimers, because we are entering into a new space. And, you can't be stupid out here. This is the wild, wild west. And then blockchain is adding a little bit more onto that, meaning that you do need to be responsible for the decisions that you're making, what you're clicking on, and what you're believing inside of this space. And so I did want to say, for the record, because we did hear about some things that are going on. There's an Instagram account right now with my name and picture and everything. And of course, we expect it to happen, so we're doing everything that we can. But we just want to let you know that we would not send you any messages on any of the social media channels to ask you for money or information. All of our communications go through our website. That is, of course, is through Intercom. So if you hit our website, you go into the right menu, you click on support, you'll get live support there. And so if anything comes through and you're kind of questioning if it's us or not, just drop us a message and let us know, and then we'll let you know. And our systems over on that side of things cannot be tampered with. And, so that's how we can clarify, you can clarify things. In addition, this is also a big reason why Web3 is becoming increasingly more important. There's a lot of security that it offers, not only for those who are coming into the platform, but also the platform itself. Because you can imagine, like, let's just say I invite somebody in my house and they're a drug dealer, let's say, and I don't know that. And then now I got this drug dealer in my house. I'm dealing with the karma and everything. And then let's say the folks roll up and they say, hey, we need information on that drug dealer. And now I'm kind of obligated to give them information, or, go down with a little bit more time because I don't want to rat. So it opens up all these situations that you could have prevented if you're using the right kind of technologies, the right kind of levels of communication that are necessary to be able to be sovereign today. And so Web3 is offering that because it gives each person an individual profile where their information is kept. And when they exit the system, they exit with all that information. It leaves them responsible to really deal with any kind of questions or question asking, especially if the system is decentralized. And it also allows anyone or any party that is a part of the system to remove themselves from anything that they may feel is uncomfortable within that system. We're seeing even today now the internet, and has always been, just in case you never run into a situation, but it becomes an increasingly more difficult place to protect yourself, to protect your identity, and to protect your assets. And that is innately to how it's designed, and that it is a bit behind with those kind of control methods to be able to make a safe environment. So I just wanted to let everybody know, just understand that we're going to consistently do our best to stay vigilant, send messages out that are timed to let everyone know, hey, we wouldn't be direct messaging you and talking to you about anything. So with that also being said, this is an also amazing time to mention that if during this process of growth that there has been anything that has personally allowed you to increase and empowered you, and you feel like you want to contribute something towards this growth and empowerment for others, we wanted to remind everyone that on the website, for sure, there is a space that you can go to known as the member contribution area. So this is store.secretenergy.com, and then you go right here on the left menu, and then there's a member contribution there. There's also generally a link in the footer that's being replaced there. But as you know, we're not too big all the time on asking you for contributions. In fact, you probably can still count on one hand how many of those emails that you've received from us asking for things. But you also have to realize that the projection is massive, and anything that generally people believe in, they support in some way, shape, or form. But let's just admit, few people come back and even write a review. So oftentimes, if you don't say anything, you just kind of go without being noticed. So I just want to let you know that Secret Energy is founded and supported by people like you, and that just because we don't send out those crazy donation letters every single day, every single month, etc., don't believe that we could not use the assistance. So that's where that space is. And I just want to let everybody know that is there. As we continue to go forward, now we are launching the first part of what we need to begin to create our councils, and what we need to begin to deregulate, for sure, like beginning to take what is somewhat of a centralized thing and bring it into really, really allowing it to reach wholeness, bringing it into the stage of where everyone has that is a part or a member of has a say-so and has the ability to propose different levels of changes based on the things that we do allow to be voted upon. So I also wanted to make sure that that is very clear, is that we are a DAO in training. This is also why we began with Create DAO versus Secret Energy DAO or anything directly named around our asset. And it's because we're coming in together and we're seeing how this is all going to work with everyone. We're going to go ahead and mentor through the process of beginning to implement governance models, starting with the things that we feel are most important inside or relevant to our community. And so that means things around soul coaching, things around digital assets, things around some of our children ventures as far as those that are being elected into the position to assist with children. So we're going to bring it into the spaces and see how it works and begin the process of growth with each other. But I can't say, as you would see with any project, that this is not a beta test all the way around, meaning that we are pioneers. So we're often entering into spaces that we have not been before. And, you know, sometimes you're expected to be perfect at every single turn, but since you don't really know what the terrain looks like, it does really require that you actually go through the process of debugging it. Is so important. We expect perfection out of life, but oftentimes we'll see that everything is perfectly the way that it's supposed to be. So with that being said, we do ask that as you're going through our spaces and our channels, especially now and in the future, that you do be mindful that this is also a fun in progress. Also, I wanted to let everybody know here that since, especially with the NFTs, that this is something that is already rolled into a contract that has time releases. That means that we can begin doing airdrops the moment we start organizing information. And this information, of course, is to make sure that we're sending or airdropping to the proper address. You could imagine that some have probably even included different types of addresses, Bitcoin addresses and things like that. Maybe not in understanding, you know, that we ask for Ethereum address or what an Ethereum address is. So we also want to say that we're going to begin to go through the process of sending out the awards that we're going to present today. But do be mindful that our contract's actually released on the 22nd. And so nothing is really expected to happen until then, and at least a few days after that, because that's when we're empowered to do what we need to do. And so what that means is that on August the 22nd, we will officially be able to start our public sale. And that means that the site, which is warriorsoflove.xyz, will allow you to mint a Warriors of Love NFT. However, there is also on August 19th, the pre-sale, and that's for everyone who's whitelisted on the project so far. And we just, want to give you thanks because we've actually been in this a year. The whitelist has grown quite large. And I do really want to also say that the reason why we do pre-sale, or anyone does pre-sale, is to give the opportunity for those that want to come in and actually want to have an NFT and understand the value within that, the opportunity to do so without having to deal with the potential of if the project itself does make it into some of the bigger hands and they decide to acquire most of, if not all, the NFTs. As you know, there are also Easter eggs in the NFTs, as they call them. These are birds, so I guess they do lay eggs, but there are things inside of the NFTs, and we talked about that earlier. One of them is that there are 10 cuboctahedrons or vector equilibriums, which are our IRLs. There are 10 of them in the standard deck, if you may, and then there's also 20 more of them in the final 20 NFTs, and they are super rare and ultra rare, which means that obviously their value is already at a certain status upon mint. So just be mindful of that, and that those are actually spread throughout the collection itself. So that's awesome. Also, if you needed to whitelist, if you still haven't done so yet, instead of playing the game that so many people play with, the whitelist, and there's only 5 of them, and we're gonna open up 10 today, and it's kind of like you're just corralling or treating people like animals. We decided to allow the whitelist to be open. We know that this project is really just in the eyes and the minds so far right now of those that have been innately with the platform. And so with that being said, again, we don't know how far the reach has been as we've been going through this process of announcing this project. And I'm trusting that we do, of course, reach some level of adoption within the cryptocurrency space. Whether we do or not, we're going forward with our decentralization and our Web3 social ecosystem. So I wanted to also mention that the whitelist links are available in Luma. That is here. You can still see them under the announcements. You can still get to the white paper in library. One of the major things that did change is for our own protection, we did decide to become Create DAO rather than Creator DAO. And that was to make sure that we're able to work everything properly when it's time to create our token. And we did send out a notification on that, but I wanted to make everyone aware of that change, just in case you missed that notification or got caught in your spam folder. All instances of that name have been replaced or changed. So I'm going to go right into, since I've mentioned everything there, I'm going to go right into just talking about the awards that we're going to give today and kind of, what we really feel about the quest and how we want to go forward. Because also the thing about, us all coming into Discord and beginning to actually discuss and share. Obviously, when when there's a action that has to be done over and over and over again, it kind of does put more of a repetition in it than like, I'm gonna really do this from the heart. And so, of course, we recognize that. But as the process was going with the launch of the quest, we wanted to kind of create some things that created engagement. We also wanted to allow you to come into the chat, even introduce yourself, find and link with other people. And we're just going to keep that going in Discord, meaning we're going to keep sharing. We're probably going to do some office hours, but the Discord itself is the official space of the Secret Energy Foundation and the Warriors of Love NFT, et cetera. And so I look forward to, since I won't be trying to come in every other day with the master plan, look forward to engaging with others there, especially as we begin to roll out some of our diffusion models. And what I'm speaking of is just some of the stuff related to advanced intelligence, as I'm calling it, not to trip over any triggers, but that means our new text-to-engine models, where we're actually able to kit bash Stability, Midjourney, and Nuance, and many of the other big data sets to actually create a very, very interesting collage of imagery. Also, I was even baking on last night, beginning to, since we've kind of now really begin to master the whole imagery space, just to really begin to consider releasing some of our older libraries of occult imagery and, kind of getting that back into the mix and seeing how we can protect ourselves with that. Because if anyone remembers, we did have a quite massive library of imagery that can never be found anywhere, just stuff you would just find and it'd be gone tomorrow. And I still have all that stuff, but it became an issue with some of the copyrights. But the beautiful part about being inside of a club or being a member is that we are like family. So if I have a library here and you come into my house, you're allowed to read my library. I think there's 2 of me going on here. Nice. Okay. I wish I could get that guy to work. Like if he would just do something else while I'm talking, we'd be good. So I do want to let everybody know that, we have a lot of advanced things to deploy here. And, we plan on doing our best, but we do have our focus specifically on certain things that we feel will be disruptive enough to allow us to find our way in the galaxy. So moving right to, give me a quick second. Let me get this back on the screen. Okay, 1 second. Okay, so we're just going to move right now into what we discussed as far as what would be the awards around this project, and then we're going to actually talk about some of the additional upgrades that I've made in showing some love. Again, we wanted to say thanks to everybody that participated. It has been incredible. So let me just go here real quick. 1 second. Where you at? Where you at? I think I'm going to announcements. Yeah, it's supposed to be in here right here. Okay. All right, so what we talked about is that first place was going to really be able to go forth with 2 WOA NFTs and 1 Vector Equilibrium. Incredible. Second place is going to be diving off with 2 Warriors of Love NFTs. And then third place is going to be making their way with 1 Warriors of Love NFT. And so that is the gifts that we want to give away now. So we're going to look at our crew 3. And what I would say for sure is this came down to a very, very close, what I feel like, is essentially a tie. But in itself, the system states that our brother Beartu, also known as Jorge, he went in and he did his thing. Our sister from Secret Feminine, Sister Billy, went in. She did her thing. And our sister Aset, they was just going in. Like, look at the number of quests here. Look at how much time and attention was placed into this. It is an honor to be able to award you 3 with these things that are so close to my heart. And so I wanted to honor that and give thanks for you for kicking it off and actually going through this process and really being in there, because it took that dedication to actually make it into that top 3. Obviously, as everybody knows here, our goal was really to put these NFTs as the gifts, the initial NFTs, the airdrops, in the hands of those that we felt were able to really understand the responsibility that comes with this. And I personally felt that everybody that had participated completely deserved an NFT, but obviously that's not going to happen. So I decided to do it still sweet and award everybody who made it within the top 10 an NFT. So that means that from number 4, that's Alchemy, Aya, Roman, Zamira, Nathaniel, Kenji, and Shucks. Man, like, we give thanks. And, from the bottom to the top of my heart, I wanted to make sure that we just saw you, because, again, we put the quest together. We know what it really took to go through it. We know that at some point it got a little boring, it got repetitious, but it also allowed others that came in, especially a little bit later on in this, to be able to keep going for the potential of them to be able to win, which I'm going to do here in also a moment, because we also have a raffle. So we show some more love, and we've actually extended NFTs to our top 10. We give thanks. I also wanted to take the moment to make sure that everybody understands, again, that how we're going to be awarding these is we're going to work with the intercom system on the site. So this just means that if you have been announced as a winner today, just drop us a message on that right side of the site, inside the menu live. Sean more than likely is going to be there. He's just going to forward it to me. And then as we go through the process, I'm just going to clarify your wallet addresses and things like that to make sure this goes to the right space. And then we'll put you in the system. And then when everything is done, then it will be done. So that's how you will be able to redeem the prizes that are being won today. So also, as you know, we do have a raffle, and that means just during the process, we allowed there to be tickets that were won. And what I did is again, our goal is to get the NFTs in the hands of as many as possible. So I have removed those who actually have NFTs for any reason from the ticketing system in order to do a raffle and give those who had scored between, this would then be 11 to wherever we ended. I think it was 200 and something, the opportunity to also win an NFT. And of course, we're going to use our random name picker system here, which, everybody uses on the internet. What I've done is, just so you can see the logic here, is that every ticket, everybody can see that. So every ticket is the name. Okay, so in this case, the Reiki Forest has 4 tickets. And so what we do is when we place all of those names in here, it counts as each individual entry. And so when we shuffle these names, we could shuffle these names. I don't think we actually need to, but I don't want to touch it. It's tempting to touch, but it's all set up already for me to just hit start, right? But I just wanted you to understand what is the logic in this and how we got the names on the list here. So let me see if I'm going to do that, because that's just a little bit of suspense going on. Let me see if I want to let the suspense come out a little bit. So yeah, before I do that, I also want to mention that as we said, there's a warriorsoflove.xyz site. You'll get more information about this later. This is in case you want to participate in the pre-sale. We will send direct emails to that inside the Luma, so it is not something for you to really be concerned about. You'll get notifications. But if you haven't got any notifications from Luma, by the way, no announcements, no emails from us, I would for sure understand that this stuff is probably going to your spam folder, because we did send out at least 2 different notifications. So again, you may want to, in order to stay notified, just make sure that your email systems and everything are on point, so that way you get the announcements when it's time. So here it is. So so also what I wanted to mention is that I guess you could say the system, the people in the system that assisted us with compiling a lot of our metadata and things with our NFTs, because it was a learning process, have reached out into me and let me know that they are beginning to start the process of creating a system to where a person can use like debit cards, Visa, whatever, to purchase NFTs. And so we are actually on their beta list right now to try this. And, we're not making any promises, but I know someone asked about that before. There was about 2 people that asked, did they have to have cryptocurrency in order to participate? And there is a system that is out now, but it is pretty fresh getting to the end user. But I will say that we're being given potentially the opportunity to use that. So that option may be open. All right. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and start this process. And I'm actually going to pick 3 names because, I like the number 3. 2 is a little bit dual sometimes, but it's cool. But we're going with 3 today. I said it was going to be 2, so we might as well up it on this end. And here it goes. So the first person. All right, I guess that's funny because you just kind of click it. There it goes. All right, there it goes. So you see it, Ruben. Come on, come on, come on. All right. You know what? I know Tanya is going to celebrate. She's celebrating now. She's about to blow through the mic. I can already hear it. So, Tanya, you are our first winner. Wholeness and Balance Vibrations is like them intentions really, really was working, and it all came through. I also have this set to remove the winners from the list after they are drawn, so you understand that, that's how it's working. So, wow, thank you so much. I'll take a screen capture of that. Bam. Okay, so let me go at it again. Y'all ready? This is exciting, right? I liked it when it was like they have a wheel on here, but I was like, okay, let's not complicate it. It's like a spinning wheel, but we're going to hit it again. Here we go. Boom. All right. Boom. Here it goes. Ah! Who is that? Oh my goodness, it's Illuminated Wisdom. All right, all right. So this is how this is going to work also, because we know some of y'all are using some real handles. And so obviously this is verified within Discord, so we will know who you are. So when you reach into us, do use these names though, because that's going to let us know exactly who you are. So we got one more time. Hold on. There's been some NFTs going out today. Mr. Fat Pockets. Here we go. Here it is again. IYN. All right. So that's in. So, hey, that works for me because it actually lets us know that understanding is still functioning and it's happening. So I'm going to screen capture this person. Also, I wanted to let everybody know that we are actually working on some pretty dynamic stuff right now. And our whole goal is to really begin to actually create these communities and councils of the future. And obviously to remember our children, because I feel like that with everything that happens when something bad occurs, the one that seems to pay the price for it is the children. Notice that. Just in the reality, like every time, something's all going crazy, and then when it finally all trickles down to who bears the brunt of the load, it's always the children. And so I'm really looking at something dynamic in order to really begin to increase the imaginations, especially since the minds are so fertile, but to increase the imaginations and the potential and the resources of children so that they have opportunity to truly explore all these amazing gifts that we've been given in this life. Now, today I actually came in. I didn't want to make this long-winded, especially for those that were going to see this in the future. I wanted to say wholeness and balanced vibrations to everyone, and thank you so much again for participating. I look forward to this rollout, because now for us, we leave the camera here, but now we go into the big process of the formulation and getting with Snapshot and working on these models and calling in the meetings and deploying the contract. And so there's still a lot more for us to personally do here, but we look forward to meeting the challenge because we know exactly why we're here. We express that so much. I did create a playlist today on YouTube. I actually cleaned up my YouTube today. I was like, man, I must really don't like YouTube. But I mean, I love that they host the videos and things, right? So you got to show them a little bit of love, but it's not like my number one platform. So when I come in here, I'll be like, okay, let me just upload some videos, and then I kind of dip. But today, as I was going through here, just fixing a playlist, I realized, I was like, whoa, this is looking pretty bad. And this, of course, is my view. But I was saying that it didn't necessarily have everything that we have done readily and at your disposal. And so what I did is I just kind of, I did the 7 thing to it, and it cleaned it all up. And now it's fresh and clean. So I'm sure we'll probably get a lot more subscribers now, because they can at least come in here. I was even finding other people's videos on my playlists. So I'm like, how does that even work? How do you even do that? So anyway, all good. Like, I'm glad that we had an opportunity again to keep refining what exactly is going on here. And I look forward to connecting with everyone in the future. I'll see you in the Discord chat, and let's keep it going. Wholeness. All right, there it is. Wholeness.
D-Mark got that heat.
We're all winners. More gets to come.